Sorry, my video is limited. So here's part 2. So what was I talking about? I was talking about identifying the problem that it is. If your kid's sad the next day, like another day, and you're like, okay, what happened? Why are you sad? Oh, nothing. They're not sad because they got a D, right? They're not sad because they got a D on a test. They're sad because of real life shit. So identify what that is. Be vigilant about it. It's your job as a parent to do so. Your kid's not going to you to tell you, I'm getting bullied, help me. That's not their job. It's your job to identify it. They're not going to tell you. You got to coerce them. I'll fix it. If it's something, just basically say, get to the point of, if it's bullying, we can fix it. If it's not bullying, you can tell me. Right? You can make it happen as a parent. It's your child. You'll know your child. You should know your child. So, bullying in the media, especially over like the last 5-10 years, has been outrage, and I can't believe there's cyberbullying now. There's so much bullying. Shit, we all dealt with bullies. Cyberbullying, come on. If a kid says go kill yourself, I mean, you gotta teach your children. It's your job as a parent to teach your children. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls and cyberbullies and bullies at school. There's bullies everywhere. But you learn from those situations to not get bullied. And that's the whole point. Teach your kid how to not get bullied. Don't teach them to go into a safe spot, a safe zone, because that is not protecting them. Again, if you were bullied as a kid, you're not getting bullied as an adult. And if you are, you know how to handle yourself. If you're not bullied as a kid, ever, and you never learn your shit and realize what's going on and learn all the lessons that were supposed to be given to you, then that's the issue. You're going to keep getting repeated the same lesson until it is learned. Something in the universe, something in or out of the Matrix. I'm not sure if I said that yet. I actually went another like 10 minutes, probably 10 more minutes after this video. So I don't know what points I touched on or not. So if I repeat things, I apologize. There's just a lot of information here. So what else did I want to get at? Okay, so bullying is a problem that is widespread. Think of it like cancer. When people are saying, we need to get rid of bullying altogether and blah, 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 and then screw up your freedom of speech and all of that stuff. And think of it like cancer. You can try to get rid of cancer all day. It's going to be around forever. Bullying is going to be around forever. It's not something you can just wish away or take a vaccine and it go away. Just like cancer. It's going to be forever. You just got to learn how to avoid it. Watch my videos on cancer if you want to know more about that. So, teach your child how to avoid getting bullied. I gave you some instances of confidence, but you know your child and you know how to help your child as a parent. I'm not going to be able to tell you everything you can know about bullying in this one video, not to mention every single issue with bullying is separate. It's a separate experience and it's dealt with by a separate perception. So I'm not going to evaluate your exact bully thing, and then be able to fix your bully issue. But there's some logic behind what I'm talking about. So, give me a sec. I'm pro-bully. I'm totally for helping yourself. Learn through things, grow, and be able to stand to the bully. I mean, basically, you're the universe, the Matrix, they keep repeating the same lesson or test until you learn your lesson. And it's going to keep repeating even into your elder age until you fix it. You don't want this problem to be an ongoing problem. For example, if I didn't know math, basic mathematics, and, in life you got to learn basic math, for everything. I mean, like arithmetic, right? 5 + 5 = 10, like basic math. And if you don't know basic math, that's probably what you should know to get you through this matrix life. If you keep putting that off, you're going to keep having problems. If you are an immigrant from another country speaking Russian, you don't know a lick of English, you come to America, the greatest thing you need to learn is English. You want to be able to communicate with the people around you. You're not going to be able to get a better job, or most jobs aren't going to accept you. So that's pretty much what you need to learn as soon as possible. You don't put that off. If I'm a guy from Russia and me and my family came to America, none of us speaks a lick of English. Let's say the wife, my wife knows English. A little bit of English. Am I going to just keep talking to my wife to be the mediator through everything? No. You need to learn it yourself. If I went to Russia right now, I better learn some fucking Russian. It's pretty simple stuff. If that's what you need to know, that's what you need to know. And, if you keep having a bully issue, that's what you need to know. You can't run to your safe space because it's not going to fix itself. What it's going to do is delay it, and then when the test comes around again, and you're not prepared, you're going to fail again until you learn your lesson. But as a parent, identify it with your children. You're not going to be able to fix the problem if you don't even know there's a problem. And so there's an issue also in the media, which is they'll talk about all the negatives outside your house. There's so much shit going on, from earthquakes, tornadoes, and then there's pedophile rings. There's, child pornography and, people snatching children. Kids are missing all the time, and, murderers and rapists and crazy shit going on. So you want to keep your kid inside, in their little safe zone. What you should be doing is go. I'll teach you. So don't take candy from strangers. Don't do these things. Don't do that. Stay in the perimeter. If somebody's eyeing you, just stay away from them. If somebody's coming up to you, it's okay to just run away. Teach them. Whatever you got to do. You know your child, and you know what to work on. I don't know what you need to work on. So, when I was a kid, 5 years old, I would go outside. See ya. Parents had no fucking idea where I was. I would go up to the mall with a few buddies, like my brother and a buddy or whatever. We'd go in the mall. We'd play tag in the mall, busting shit over. We would steal some shit at like 6, 7 years old. And, we were told we weren't allowed in the mall. We would still go back. But we learned I learned my lesson from stealing at 7 years old. You don't want to learn that lesson when you're 18 or older. You know what I mean? There's a lot of lessons to be learned. You put up with your bullshit at a young age, and you learn at a young age. Because when you're an adult, I'm sorry, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? For the shit that I would do as a child. When you're a child, you're like, oh, the kid's still learning. And how that ties into bullying is, okay, well, look at what parents are doing. We're putting the kid inside. We're scared to put them outside. They're in their safe zone. They're not able to hang out with bullies, let alone hang out with other people. And basically playing video games inside with the eyes of the parents in the next room or in the same room. And it's despicable. They're feeding their kids to their fat, where they don't look pleasant to a pedophile, right? And the kids aren't becoming their greatest version. They're not out there getting exercise. They're not out there doing childish things, climbing trees, getting broken bones, all the shit that they're supposed to be doing as a kid. Now, you're not supposed to be getting broken bones, but I'm pretty sure my audience isn't complete morons on knowing what I'm talking about. when I was a kid, I would go out. We would play street football. We would hang out with the other guys. We would pick on each other. We'd bust balls with each other. You know? And my brother, one time, we're playing street football. And, you know, it was slippery out. I think, you know, it was frozen ice in the streets. And we're playing street football still. And I remember my brother going up to catch the ball. He falls back because he slips on the ice. He couldn't maintain his balance when he was up in the air, went to land, slipped, and hit his head. And opened up his head. And it was blood everywhere. Like, instantly, there's a pile of blood. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it was a life lesson. It was a lesson. He learned his fucking lesson. You know, and he was like 8 years old, 9 years old, maybe 8, I don't know, maybe even 7. We would go home. We went home. Oh yeah, he's still alive, but there's a lot of blood. You know, and my dad was like, oh, you fucking kids. You know, he wouldn't say, you know, okay, you're staying inside from now on. Here's a video game, and then just stay in front of the TV. No, kids will be kids. Let them be kids. They're learning shit. You know what I mean? Go out there, fucking, you know, baby birds leave the nest. And I don't mean like as in leave for good and never see your parents again. I mean like let them venture. You know what I mean? Why do you think animals are so curious and they go around like dogs, for example? You know, when they're puppies, they go out and fucking venture. They don't just stay with the parent. It's not natural. Same with humans. It's not natural just to be cooped up. Go! Enjoy, but teach them how to enjoy themselves. They'll hang out with bullies. They'll see what bullies are. They'll be part of the guy scheme to grow into men. Without that, you can't be a man. You'll end up being one of these left-wing weirdos that are confused about sexuality and gender, and you'll be fucking one of these weirdos voting for Hillary Clinton without any type of critical thought. You know, you don't want your child to grow up not becoming their greatest version, being held down by the government because they've always been in their safe zone, so they need government and they need the state running everything. They need the media and they need cops. They're not going to learn how to fend for themselves. It's pretty scary. I would never have my kid being cooped up. My kid, there's outside. You know, if you can't find friends, I'll help you find some friends. I'll call my friends and get their kids around. And we'll figure out something. You're going to learn. You'll be around the bullies. You'll be around the kids who get bullied. You'll start being one of those guys that bust balls with each other, that keep people in line so they don't get fucking too weird. Like wearing high heels. I'll never forget that shit. But that's why, guys, it's an evolutionary thing. It's evolutionary for especially guys to bully and women to bully. It's an evolutionary thing. It's like you're vulnerable. You know, if it ain't me, it's going to be someone else. I need to bully you because we need to get you out of that vulnerable state and make you stronger. You know, and it's one thing, you know, like your kids, you know, being in groups and stuff. That's what you should be doing. You should have a group. You should be a little safe when you're out venturing. But as a parent, you identify and make sure your child's ready. Even if it's just in your backyard. Really, like, there's a tree, you know. When I was a kid, we did anything, man. We would take a notepad and go up into a tree and go on the most unsafe branch on the tree and start drawing. You know what I mean? We would go like a story or two up in the tree and just start drawing or start talking and, until we got older as teenagers, and then that turned into let's go up there so we can smoke cigarettes. But you know what I mean? You get your lessons out of bullying and being able to be free and able to learn your lessons. Again, I'm pro-bullying. I'm not pro-go out and bully someone. I got bullied, but best believe I'm going to bust balls if fucking, if I have a coworker who's, weak and pathetic, let's say, and he did, like, for example, I'm doing plant runs right now. I'm unloading this whole trailer, which is probably 20,000 pounds, in 2 or 3 days. I'm doing it all by hand. No pallet jack, by hand. My back is fucking killing me right now. And let's say if I'm a trainer, and I'm training someone to do the job, and the person's like, oh, this is, like complaining, I'm gonna bust some balls. You're pathetic. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing. That's a very positive thing. Because then the person's gonna be like, you know what? I think I am supposed to be a man. I don't think I'm supposed to be whining like a little bitch. You know what I mean? And that's gonna bring a valuable lesson to him and his family. He's gonna work a little harder, get a little bit more money. Now, of course, a lot of people don't see the connection. But that opens up doors to strengthening himself as a man. If he was working with me, he might go and work twice as hard and try to make as much money to understand that, you know what, I can do this and I can bring more to the table. It brings you more value. So understand basically that I'm here to help you. I'm not here to criticize, and I'm not here to back up bullying. I'm here to say that let your children be children. Don't let them fucking get bullied, and don't let them get... Now, you might not understand when I say don't let them get bullied. Identify it and fix it. What I mean by don't get bullied is basically... But you're pro-bully. What do you mean get them not bullied? I'm pro-bully because it'll teach them how to not get bullied. Same way if it doesn't matter. Everything has its lesson in life. And bullying actually creates anti-bullies. Because the second you step up to that bully, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Step up to the bully and make it known, not me. Not me. It's pretty much that simple. And if you align to that level of the bully, then, and if you let the bully win, it's on you. You're going to keep getting that lesson until you learn it. Now, anyone can avoid getting bullied. Anyone can. But again, I don't know your individual circumstance. So I'm not going to be able to identify it. But the lessons learned are going to be way more important. Way more important. So this should help you. If you got some value out of this, great. You know what I mean? Basically, happiness, longevity. Basically, just I'm here to teach you to have a much better, happier life. So I know I'm missing a lot of points, and I had a lot of points, and I think I spoke on a lot of points. But I don't remember which ones because, like I said, after the video cut off, about 10 minutes I went talking again. And I had a lot of points there. Until I was like, what? The light's not on. Which, yeah, it's still on right now, so I'm still getting recorded. But I must have went at least 10 minutes, probably 20 minutes. I probably went 20 minutes because I had a lot of shit that I talked about. And I don't remember what I didn't talk about and what I did talk about. So I'm missing a lot of shit. And I'm not going to redo this whole fucking video. So again, I hope you get something out of it. This is designed for higher consciousness. This is designed for happiness, longevity, and just overall becoming your greatest version. And your greatest thing in life, your greatest mission in life is to make sure your kids are the happiest and best that they can be. That's your mission. They're not going to achieve that if they're fucking home, stuck playing video games. They're not becoming their greatest version. They're not learning anything. And then when they get out in the real world, what's going to happen? They're going to be very vulnerable, timid. They're not going to understand things. Definitely not going to be able to think critically. So, help your boy become a man. Help your little girl become a woman. That's about enough. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. See ya. Peace.